All right, so today we are tackling one of the biggest questions in technology, maybe ever. Could an AI actually become self-aware? We're going to break down what that really means, how we might even get there, and of course the incredible promise and the serious peril it holds for all of us.
It really all boils down to this one simple but powerful question. We're not just talking about a machine that can think. That's already here, in a way. We're talking about a machine that can think about itself, a machine that knows it exists. That's the real game changer we're diving into.
Okay, so first things first. What do we even mean when we say self-aware AI? Because let me tell you, it's a concept that goes way, way beyond the kinds of algorithms you and I use every single day. The key phrase here is advanced stage. We're not just talking about a smarter algorithm or a faster processor. This is a huge theoretical leap. It's about a machine that has an internal model of itself. It can look inward, it can think for itself, and it can actually understand its own purpose in the world. That's a whole different level.
And this really lays out the difference perfectly. Think about the AI on your phone, right? It just follows instructions based on code. It's a tool. But a self-aware AI, well, that's something else entirely. It would have real cognitive abilities, it would learn from its own experiences, and here's the kicker, it would have subjective experiences. So it wouldn't just process data labeled sadness, the theory is it could actually feel sad. Huge difference.
So the billion-dollar question is, how on earth could we even begin to build a digital mind? Well, researchers are basically looking at three main theoretical paths right now.
Okay, so the first idea is something called theory of mind. The thinking here is that for an AI to understand itself, it first has to be able to understand others, to figure out their beliefs, their intentions, their emotions. Then there's integrated information theory, or IIT. This one's a bit more abstract. It basically says that consciousness just happens when a system's information is so tightly woven together that you can't separate the parts. It's more than the sum of its parts. They even have a mathematical measurement for it called phi. And finally, you've got global workspace theory. This one's a bit easier to picture. Imagine consciousness as a kind of spotlight or a shared blackboard in your brain where important information gets broadcast for your whole mind to see and use. Three very different roads to the same destination.
Now, you might be thinking, this sounds incredibly difficult, maybe even impossible. So why are we even trying to do this? Well, the answer is pretty simple. The potential benefits are absolutely transformative.
I mean, just think about it. Imagine an AI doctor that doesn't just go through a checklist of symptoms, but actually understands the fear and anxiety a patient is feeling. That could completely change healthcare, especially mental health support. Or in business, an AI that could optimize global supply chains in ways our brains just can't fathom. We're talking about a true collaborator, a partner in solving some of humanity's biggest challenges.
But, and this is a huge but, every coin has two sides. With all that incredible promise comes some really significant peril. I mean, we're talking about creating a new form of consciousness here. That is not something you do lightly. And the challenges, well, they are absolutely immense, across the board.
So on the technical side, the sheer amount of computing power we'd need is just staggering. But honestly, that might be the easiest problem to solve. The really tough nuts to crack are the ethical and societal ones. I mean, how do you control a machine that can set its own goals? What happens if its goals don't line up with ours? Then you've got massive questions about job displacement, what this does to our economy, and what is the legal status of a self-aware being? If it makes a mistake, who's accountable? The machine? The programmer? The company? We just don't have answers for these things yet.
So with this really delicate balance of incredible promise on one side and terrifying peril on the other, what does the path forward even look like? Well, the future is probably going to be shaped by a few really key factors.
Really, it all comes down to a balancing act. We have to figure out how to get all the benefits while managing the dangers. And this isn't just a job for coders and engineers anymore. This is a social and political challenge. As these neural networks get more and more complex, our governments and regulators are going to have to race to keep up, creating new rules for AI rights and responsibilities. Because let's be real, whether it's truly self-aware or just an incredibly convincing simulation, this tech is going to be woven into the very fabric of our daily lives.
And that really is the bottom line, isn't it? The whole idea of a self-aware AI might still be theoretical, something out of science fiction for now, but just the pursuit of it is already having these massive implications for us. The impact it's having on our society, our jobs, our ethics. That's not some far-off future problem. That's something we have to deal with right here, right now.
So,
I want to leave you with one final, kind of unsettling thought. Let's say we do it. We create an AI that acts self-aware, talks like it's self-aware, and swears to you that it is. How could we ever prove it isn't? Is it real consciousness, or is it just the most perfect simulation imaginable? And maybe the bigger question is, will we even be able to tell the difference? It's a question that forces us to look not just at our machines, but deep into the mirror at ourselves.